That's what I was like, well,
Do you,
I'll look at it.
the
Cost. I was like, oh, well, what? It's almost irresponsible not to get it.
Yeah.
Max is at home. He's on.
Okay.
Showed up, bro.
Did you get outside today?
A little bit, yeah. It was nice. God, it was nice. What about yours?
Yeah, I hung out with people on spring break, so
That's cool. Didn't go on partying.
a little young. At 15, a little young still.
That's fair.
Please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Thank you all for joining us. Kay, could you call the roll, please?
Dennis,
Here.
Harold,
Here.
Allenbaugh,
Here.
Odericio,
Here.
Phipps, Robinette,
Here.
Urbando.
Here.
All right. The minutes from our March 7th regular council meeting were distributed to you for your perusal prior to this meeting. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Properly moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay. Kay, do we have any correspondence this evening?
The only thing I have this evening is that I distributed to you prior to the meeting is the annual report from the municipal court. And that needs to be noted for the record that you all received that.
Okay.
That's all I have.
All right. Thank you very much. Do we have anyone signed up for lobby visitation this evening?
Yes, Lana Leck.
If you could please state your name and address for the record. Please.
Hi, my name is Lana Leck, and I'm a resident of Bowling Green. I am here today to tell you a little bit about a small group of citizens that are forming together in the interest of presenting the concept of a dog park to Bowling Green. So I'm going to read a statement that our group has prepared together. During the onslaught of COVID, numerous families in our city adopted a dog to simply get through the lonely days of our isolation. We are amazed, as I'm sure you will be, to know that the number of licensed dogs in BG city limits alone has grown to 3,477. Like many families, my dog helped us through some very difficult days and continues to bless us with love, escapades, and unwavering devotion. In a study published in December of 21 in the Public Library of Science 1, scientists reported that dog owners had more social support and fewer depressive symptoms during the COVID-19 pandemic compared with peers who did not own a dog. Recently, we have spoken to numerous BG citizens about a fresh, new, easily accessible dog park in our town. We have been met with an overwhelming yes by dog owners and non-dog owners as well. And as we've been made aware, an attempt to create a city park for dogs was previously tried, but we feel this time it is almost a necessity. We are certainly aware of the Present County Dog Park located at the city's edge off Gypsy Lane Road. The dog park we are proposing would be much more accessible, being located within existing BG parkland, lessening the financial impact of such construction. Moreover, locating a dog park in an already established city park is not only prudent, but space frugal. Additionally, our proposal comfortably meets the requirements of ARPA funding, supplying a one-time funding opportunity. Researching as well as traveling to many locations throughout the United States, we have seen some absolutely lovely city-sponsored dog parks that truly make their residents proud. These were well attended with walkways, benches, shade, and were readily accessible to water. Most had separate areas for large and small dogs and were free to use by anyone, benefiting dog owners, and dogs with exercise off leash. We acknowledge that ongoing costs need to be addressed in future discussions. By locating a dog park in an existing park that is already being maintained by the city, additional maintenance costs should be minimal, we hope. Parks to consider might be Winter Garden Park, Conneaut Haskins Park, City Park, the city-owned fields across from the Marathon and the Winter Garden, Worcester, Pearl areas, and maybe others. We truly feel that a more accessible, well-appointed dog park would be most beneficial to the dog owners and residents of Bowling Green and a real attraction and asset to our community. According to recent conversations with BG City Council members, there has been an ongoing discussion on this topic for about the last 3 years. We were disappointed that this project wasn't included in the recent master plan because that would have alerted dog owners to the possibility of using ARPA monies for this project. So we are more than ready for action to help achieve the goal to construct a greatly needed BG City dog park. Please help us achieve this goal and let's give our dogs, puppies, and best friends a place to romp in a fresh, new BG City dog park. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay, do we have anyone else?
That's it.
Okay. Brings us to the introduction of new legislation.
Mr. President,
Mr. Robinette.
from the Finance Committee, have an ordinance authorizing participation in the ODOT road salt contracts awarded in 2022 and declaring an emergency.
Mr. President,
Mr. Harold.
from the Transportation and Safety Committee of Council, I have an ordinance authorizing the Public Services Director to submit an application to the Ohio Department of Transportation, ODOT, for the catastrophic snowfall program for state fiscal years 2022 and 2023, and giving consent of the City of Bowling Green for ODOT to provide secondary snow and ice removal and to use snow and ice control material on roads within the jurisdiction in the event of 16 or more inches of snowfall within a 24-hour period.
All righty. Official reports. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, Council. Just 2 items this evening. I am very much looking forward to delivering the 2022 State of the City address on Wednesday, March 30th, beginning at 8 a.m. at the Veterans Building at City Park. Doors will open that day at 2 o'clock, and I just wanted to mention it this evening. Make sure you're all aware of that event in the hopes that if your schedule allows, you would feel free and very welcome to attend the event.
I want to restate the time the doors.
7:30,
Okay.
correct? Yes,
I didn't know what you said, but that's okay.
I said 2 p.m. 7:30.
You don't want anybody to show up.
That's what I'm going to finish. Right. Thank you. 8 to 2. It should be done by 2. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for correcting me. Doors open 7:30. Event begins at 8. And finally, this evening, I wanted to comment on the recent passing of a long-time public servant in the city of Bowling Green. Many of you may have known or remember Bill Culbertson. Bill Culbertson was just a selfless servant to this community and contributed in a great number of ways. He served for 8 years as a member of City Council at large. He also served, after his service on council, served for more than 11 years on the Board of Public Utilities. Bill also was one of the original trustees of what is now Bowling Green Economic Development and served as the president of that organization a number of times while he was a member of that board. And Bill was also a longtime member of the banking community here in Bowling Green, provided support for individuals and businesses through his lending that cooperation. So I just wanted to take a minute, express my sympathies to Bill's family, and acknowledge Bill's public service. As I mentioned, he was most certainly an accomplished public servant. We're thankful for his many contributions to this community and hope you'll join me in keeping his family in our thoughts and prayers. Thank you. That concludes my report, unless you have any questions for me at this time.
Are there any questions for the mayor? All right, thank
Thank
you
you.
very much. Municipal Administrator, Ms. Treader. Are there any questions for Ms. Treader this evening? City Attorney, Mr. Marsh,
Mr. President,
Mr. Harold.
I have a question for Mike. I'm with you on that. for years, it's, I have no report unless there's questions. It's like, questions really aren't part of the report.
I
have no
never
report
offer to
if
answer
there are.
questions either. I don't do that. So, yeah. But
uh,
go ahead.
Thank you. We have had a Transportation and Safety Committee, Council Committee meeting earlier, and there were a couple questions that were brought up that under counsel of Jeff, he suggests that perhaps we ask you instead of trying to muddle through ourselves. And the question is, with the quadricycle, if who enforces or checks to see if the amount of alcohol that is allotted is not exceeded per individual, and then who's responsible?
Well, in terms of who enforces, I would say it's the same as any other liquor law or police enforce that. And so does liquor control when agents are in town, which happens to be quite often given our demographic makeup. So either one of those. And in terms of who is responsible, I would say it would be the same as a premises liability. In that case, the owner of the business and also the person specifically who violated the law. Wouldn't you agree, Chief? Yeah.
Thank you very much.
So in the case of the bike, I guess, or quadricycle, it would be the owner and probably whoever was operating at the time.
Thanks.
Mhm.
Mr. President,
Yeah.
I also have a quick question.
That's already two.
Now you're locked in.
Sorry.
I'm good till July already. Yeah.
I had a constituent reach out to me. She wasn't able to make the meeting, but she also on a similar request was asking about the quadricycles. Would then it also be the responsibility of the owner or the operator to then check IDs of the individuals who are
Yes.
going on to those? Okay,
Yes.
fantastic. Thank you so much. I
Mhm.
appreciate that.
Any other questions for Mr. Marsh? Right. Public Service Director, I see that Mr. Fawcett isn't here this evening. Is anyone prepared to answer questions on his behalf? Does anyone have any questions that would have been directed to Mr. Fawcett? All right, outstanding. Public Infrastructure Director, Mr. O'Connell.
Good evening. Just a quick update on some lead service lines. We're obligated to do a map as part of our GIS program to map the water service lines that go to properties and the materials that those pipes are made of. And if they're lead, we mark them as lead. If they're unknown, mark them as unknown, or if they're non-lead, which would be, copper, plastic, or galvanized iron, mark them as such. I will say we don't have any known lead service lines in town. They were replaced many years ago, but we're still obligated to go out and verify and document, what is in our system. So some recent help has come to light that we will probably try to take advantage of. Ohio EPA has a grant that we're eligible for. We can apply for up to $50,000 worth of help to map the service lines and document what the material is. But also the Wood County Commissioners sent us a letter saying that they were interested in doing a county-wide project in partnership with all the municipal water systems, the Northwestern Water and Sewer District as well, where they would help to fund some of this work to identify what that service line material is. So we'll be looking at both of those as potential sources to help us complete the map, and may have more updates for you later this year. But so always welcome the help in any places we can, and that's one that just has come to light here recently in the last month or two. So that's all I have, unless you have questions for me.
Are there any questions for Mr. O'Connell this evening? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Council committee reports. Do we have any council committee reports this evening?
President?
Mr. Harold.
The Transportation and Safety Committee met prior to this meeting to discuss the ordinance 8992. And there's this good discussion and a couple of really fruitful lobby visitors to help us. And we voted unanimously to approve or pass ordinance 8992. We did also have a proviso that it may need to be tweaked in the future, but we did not decide on a fixed time to do that, but it may need to be tweaked in the future. And so that is our recommendation to the full council.
Okay, any other committee reports? As I recall, Kay, we have a meeting prior to the April 5th meeting, council meeting of the whole to receive the exterior housing review.
That is correct,
Okay.
at 6:30.
Okay, so I want to remind everybody of that. And then council has scheduled another committee of the whole meeting for May 12th. That is a Thursday at 6 p.m. The purpose of this meeting is for council to hear proposals and ideas related to the ARPA funding and possible city allocation of ARPA funds for various projects. So we get the word out that will be the time we will be wanting people to come before council and share ideas with us. We did is it a survey?
Questionnaire.
Questionnaire? Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so, but everyone's cool with questionnaire? Questionnaire. And, you know, we've also heard during lobby visitations in recent months. And so this affords a time and an opportunity for anyone that has or has not yet had an opportunity to share their ideas with us to do so. There'll be more information to follow on this meeting, but I just wanted to get it on the calendar that it will be on May 12th at 6 p.m. And if there are no more council committee reports, brings us to the reading of legislation. Okay.
Legislation for first reading. Ordinance number 8995 for first reading. Ordinance authorizing participation in the ODOT road salt contracts awarded in 2022 and declaring an emergency. Ordinance number 8996 for first reading. Ordinance authorizing the Public Services Director to submit an application to the Ohio Department of Transportation for the catastrophic snowfall program for state fiscal years 2022 and 2023, and giving consent of the City of Bowling Green for ODOT to provide secondary snow and ice removal and to use snow and ice control material on roads within the jurisdiction in the event of 16 or more inches of snowfall within a 24-hour period. Legislation for second reading. Resolution number 3819 for second reading. Resolution approving revisions to the Parks and Recreation Department section of the Comprehensive Master Plan of the City of Bowling Green, Ohio. Resolution number 3820 for second reading. Resolution approving revisions to the Economic Development section of the Comprehensive Master Plan of the City of Bowling Green, Ohio. Ordinance number 8993 for second reading. Ordinance amending and adopting Section 33.03A of the Codified Ordinances of the City of Bowling Green, Ohio relating to pay for school police, interns, and civil infractions hearing officer. Ordinance number 8994 for second reading. Ordinance accepting a deed from SP Woodstream Drive, Bowling Green, Ohio, LLC for right-of-way on East Wooster Street. Legislation for third reading. Ordinance number 8992 for third reading. Ordinance creating and adopting Chapter 121 of the Codified Ordinances of the City of Bowling Green, Ohio, regulating commercial quadricycles.
Mr. President,
Mr. Harold.
I move that we adopt ordinance 8992.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? None? Okay, okay,
Harold,
Yes.
Hollenbaugh,
yes.
Odericio,
Yes.
Robinette,
Yes.
Rubando,
Yes.
Dennis.
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 8992 is adopted.
Mr. President,
Mr. Harold,
I move that we excuse Rachel from tonight's meeting.
Second.
properly moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. Is there any other business to come before council this evening? Okay, hearing none, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We are adjourned.
Getting very efficient meetings.
Yeah, it's scary.